I feel like I have to be holding something to talk. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm filming this on my laptop. This is just what it's gonna be, and it's gonna have to be okay. So, my god, I went to the Lakeland Antique Mall, and a lot of people post about it, and I need to post more in general. And as of right now, the only place I'm posting is my close friend's Instagram story. So sorry if you're on that. I actually haven't been posting there lately. I've been busy, but I collect Star Wars things because of course I do. Look at my username. I used to collect like Bratz dolls and Bratz and memorabilia. By collect, I do mean just buy reproductions and new merch, because the doll resale market is crazy and I didn't know that. We're not collecting anymore, that's for sure. But I will collect Star Wars stuff because Star Wars is never ending, it seems. So many new shows all the time and I can never catch up. I pretty much exclusively collect stuff for the sequels trilogy. Sorry. And also, ideally, just kind of mostly The Last Jedi. Sorry again. I am lucky in a sense that no one else likes those movies because there's a lot of stuff for it that people don't want anymore. I love thrifting and antique malls and flea markets because that's typically where you can find a lot of this stuff. I also live by Disney World. That's the Disney trilogy and they made a lot of stuff for it. A lot of that went to liquidation at the cast member stores because no one wants to buy it anymore. Even though Disney also made Mandalorian and Ahsoka and the Obi-Wan show, but whatever, people like those. Whatever, you can like what you like, I really don't care. Back to what I was saying, I went to the Lakeland Antique Mall and I have thoughts, a lot of them. Here are the pros. The pros are, I think, that this is a very diverse store. It's the only place I've seen in Central Florida where you can kind of get old Universal stuff, even current Universal stuff. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you can get a lot of that there, and that's great for the people who live in Lakeland and kind of the Tampa area because they're way further than someone like me is to Disney and Universal. That is a hop, skip, and not even a jump away from my apartment. I literally hear the fucking boats and fireworks every night. Oh boy. Yeah, so it's good that they have something there. I know that this location is not as big as their previous location, which I never got to go to because I was too busy sitting on my ass and not going. It's still pretty diverse and there's a lot there, especially if you like either of those two things and just theme park stuff in general. It's really cool. The second pro is that, do I have another? Also, I saw a girl on TikTok. If you're out there, Diva, you said you collected mostly Elvis stuff. There has been a restock. Get yourself there. There is a whole lot of Elvis. You should go buy some. That's waiting for you. So, my cons, I have several, right? And also, I'm new to like thrifting, antique malls and everything. If I sound like I'm being an asshole, I'm sorry. I don't know how any of this works from my very new experience. I like when it feels cool that you found something. I was thinking yesterday while thrifting, I was at Goodwill, the really good Goodwill by Disney. Not really. It's the one in Winter Garden. That's like the Disney Goodwill apparently. Which, fair enough, there's tons of shit there. I made out like a bandit last time I was there, okay? That place is hit or miss for Star Wars, usually miss, but a sequels trilogy fan died or something because I went home with a lot that day and I left some stuff behind and I didn't really come home with much of anything yesterday. Anyway, my point being, I like going to places like Goodwill or non-Disney thrift stores, even if it is the Disney Goodwill, whatever. You don't really know what you're gonna find. There's no guarantee, right? There's kind of a guarantee with going to the Lakeland Antique Mall that is known for being like the Disney Antique Mall. You know what you're getting when you go in there, right? Like, I didn't know if there would be much Star Wars in there, but I know that there's a lot currently of Star Wars liquidation happening, of sequels trilogy stuff. Galaxy's Edge is not boding well for my future visitation at this point. Somewhere like the Lakeland Antique Mall is kind of nice because I know that's going to be there. That's a guarantee. Maybe that's a pro. If I want Star Wars antiquing, I know I'll find it there. There was no question about whether or not I was going to find stuff today. So that was good, especially with it being like a 40-minute drive for me. I wanted to come home with something, so that was kind of nice. A lot of the stuff in there is not old, right? And like, that's fine. I don't know what you guys would consider old. Like, I have found stuff at the, is it Orange something? Antique Mall in Winter Park. I like that one a lot because I usually don't find stuff there, and that's okay. I walked in once looking for Bratz stuff, and I found nothing except for like a karaoke machine for $200. I didn't buy that, but I usually don't find stuff there, except I found this there. This was my holy grail item for the longest time. Ooh, I hit my laptop. This is my holy grail item for the longest time after seeing it in the back of a Jenny Nicholson video. And I couldn't find it anywhere online. You'd think if you searched Star Wars The Last Jedi pillow, something would come up. You'd be wrong. I don't know if that's official merch or not, because I had a hard time finding it, but I found it in the corner of this back booth at the Orange whatever the fuck antique mall, and I bought it immediately. That shit came home with me. I was like, my grail item for the longest time, just something like that, you know, like that specifically was what I wanted. I don't really know what my grails are anymore. And it's less exciting to find stuff that you are kind of sure you're looking for when you know it's gonna be there, you know? Anyway, so I don't know if you would consider stuff for like The Last Jedi new. That movie's like, what, 7 years old at this point? That's crazy. I only got into Star Wars during the pandemic. Looking for you guys, because I'd probably be a way more annoying person if I had grown up with this. But like The Force Awakens turns 10 this month, right? No, December? I think it's December. And then The Rise of Skywalker is going on its 5th birthday. So like, it's, you know, it's getting there. That's fine. You know, it's up to you guys whether or not you want to consider that new. I don't necessarily consider it new because it's not like current, right? Like, I don't want to see Mandalorian stuff at an antique mall. There was some, not a lot, but there was some. This whole point is actually, I realize now, just gonna be me barking up a tree that has nothing to do with me, because I wasn't there to buy theme park merchandise or to buy any of the stuff that I found that, why is my glasses glare so crazy? I wasn't there to buy the stuff that this point of contention is rooted in. So they have like a showroom in the back that's all like theme park stuff mostly. Some of it is Galaxy's Edge liquidation stuff for the new movies, even if they aren't very new, but it's new merchandise, all things kind of considered, because it's some of the most recent merchandise they have for the sequels trilogy. I know that because a lot of it's still in the parks. There's legacy sabers, there's, what else did I see there today? I don't remember. There's a lot of pins there, and apparently a lot of them are fake, but who gives a shit? I don't know. There was one bust of Snoke that I've been wanting for the longest time, but it was expensive and $130, and I don't really have anywhere to put it. I need to buy more shelves. This point is, I guess, maybe less about new stuff, but more about accessibility to this stuff, okay? If you have access to the cast member liquidation store, you would know what the frequent flyers are on those shelves, right? Like some stuff that they just cannot seem to get rid of, or, you know, just routinely come back year after year. And I saw a lot of that stuff there that was there during my last visit there, marked full price as it would be in the parks, knowing maybe it was just a couple bucks at the cast member store. And there's something to be said about, you know, your time to go buy this and then your ability to flip it. A lot of the stuff at the cast member liquidation store is also at the character warehouse outlets in Vineland and somewhere else, I forget. And then also just around the country, there's more. But a lot of it's the same stuff for the same prices. Reselling is allowed if you buy it at the character warehouse. It is not allowed with like an asterisk, I think, after a certain point. But generally speaking, it's a big no-no to do it from the cast member liquidation store, because that is a cast perk. And I think you could give them the benefit of the doubt that most of this was probably purchased at the warehouse, except for the fact that there was cast liquidation store specific markings on some of the stuff that you know to recognize. It was just kind of a bummer going in there like thinking, oh, I'm gonna find like old theme park stuff, and then it's like stuff that I can get anytime I go there. I guess it doesn't matter, it's fine, like they're selling you fine stuff. It just feels weird to me that this place is often talked about as like, Disney sends their dead stock here and you can get old theme park stuff here, but it's like, yeah, but you can also go get a working version of the same thing in the park currently for the same price they're asking for on this shelf, or a slightly damaged version of the product that it may or may not be more damaged than this version at the cast member liquidation store, which not everyone has access to, which then I would go back and say the character warehouses sell the same stuff now at the same price. That being said, those locations are over an hour, give or take, from the Lakeland Antique Mall. So I know there's, you know, a convenience fee you pay, but that's just something to keep in mind. That a lot of this stuff is at those same stores. I was kind of hoping for older stuff because it was kind of marketed that way. That wasn't really the case. It was at some booths, but that was more like the typical stuff you would see at like a Disney themed booth. It wasn't like anything crazy. There is a location that has crazy old Disney stuff that I'm gonna get into because wow, but it's not here. That's in Winter Garden. My other point of contention, which isn't the fault of like anybody really, at least for the Star Wars stuff, some of the booths had a lot of the same stuff at different prices, same degrees of quality, brand new or, you know, mint condition. And it was just price differences. I felt like I was at Hobby Lobby, where like if you like look back, maybe it's a couple bucks cheaper, a couple bucks more. It was like that. I think every time I go thrifting or antiquing or whatever, I'm doing multiple walkthroughs because you don't know what's going to get put out, put back, and you don't know what you might miss or might find. But definitely at this location, please, if you go for your own wallet's sake, do multiple walkthroughs and compare prices across booths, because some of the stuff that I'm going to show you guys that I got was at booths like across from each other for like a price difference, if that makes sense. Also, I talk with my hands a lot and it's shaking my laptop, and this video is probably going to be shaky for you guys, and I'm sorry in advance, but I'm from New Jersey and that's just how things go. A lot of this is just like semantics. Like, it's not the end of the world that this is stuff you can... There is a semi-truck parking itself outside my window. It's not the end of the world that you can get a lot of this stuff at other places. It's not the end of the world that they're reselling stuff from the character warehouse. Again, the location is great for a lot of people who can't access those other spots. Anyway, on to the haul. Oh my god. So again, I collect mostly stuff related to the sequels and The Last Jedi specifically. Sue me, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna put up what I spent versus the price it goes for originally, and then also online if I can find all those details. But the first thing I got was this Rey Last Jedi wishable plush. She's so cute. She was $5.99. Do you like ASMR? Because you're gonna get some as I unpack stuff. She has a chin like mine. Look at her. Oh, twin. The tag is bigger than her, and I think she's adorable, and I love all things The Last Jedi, so that's perfect. Next thing I got, I wasn't sure I was gonna get this. I don't really get a lot of the Black Series stuff. I actually don't. No, that's a lie. I have one. I bought some before for like friends and stuff, but my friend Miranda had bought me for my birthday a Poe and Kylo helmet set. Hello, made for me. But I bought these. I bought Holdo. She was $11. I never see Holdo anything, and I love her. I used to hate her, but I recognize now that she's a strong woman, and I respect that. I'm gonna leave her in my other Black Series item inbox most likely, because I love the art on them. Oh, I forgot if I said I spent $11 on her. These are all new in box, by the way. This is Finn in his first order disguise from The Last Jedi. I thought this was so cool. I've not seen this one either, and I love that whole scene. I don't love Canto Bite. I don't think anybody does. This is also new in box. This is DJ. This is pretty cool. I also don't see a lot of DJ stuff being made ever, so I had to buy it. This is actually the first thing I grabbed, which is a Praetorian Guard. I put the sticker over Poe's face. I wish they would have put it at like the... This was $7.99. I paid $9.99. Praetorian Guard ornament. I'll probably put this up on one of my shelves that's near me, because despite this being like my favorite movie, I have none of these little dudes anywhere. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then I found this during like my third trip by this booth. This is a Squishmallow. I got it for $4.50. BB-8. He'll just go on my bed. The last thing I got, and perhaps the most exciting, I gasped when I saw this. What? This is a set of 6 ornaments. Is this Hallmark or is this just Disney? I just saw the original price for this. I paid $25. This is new in box. Guys, this was originally $80. I don't mind the $2 difference in price I paid for the other ornament right now. I think this is just Disney Store, but this is gorgeous packaging. I will take these out just to display them on my shelves, but I will keep the packaging. Actually, low-key, maybe what I might do is like just display the box like alone like that on a shelf or something. Put stuff on top of it. I don't know. I thought that's so pretty. That's so cool. I spent like 83 bucks and change. I went in with a budget of $150, so I'm okay with that. Oh my god. I'm just gonna hold it because I don't have much more to say. That's my review. Spend your money where you want. I'll probably go back because they had stuff. There we go. That's my review. See you later.